I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back if you're one of my regular visitors here. But if this is your first visit, a very big welcome to you. And hopefully you will enjoy the way I present astrology. And if so, I would love it if you would subscribe. So today I'm bringing you a short heads up video, but this one is actually going to be a little bit longer, because I am going to go through each sign of the zodiac and tell you where you can expect the change of the nodal energy to fall in your chart. So that will be looking at where the North Node has gone in your chart into the sign of Aries. So it'll be in the part of your chart that is Aries, and also where the South Node subsequently has gone into your into the part of your chart that is Libra. So first of all, this event is kind of it's difficult to pinpoint an exact moment in time when the nodes shift, because we have something called mean nodal time and true node time. So what that means is that there is a flexibility with the movement of these kind of points in space that give the impression that they go forward, backwards, forward, backwards, forward, backwards, and then back into their backward rotation. I'll try and explain a bit more, because I think it helps to understand the astrology if we understand a little bit about the astronomy. Now, at this moment, up here over my left shoulder, magically, the chart of the North Node moving into Aries and Libra will appear. Thank you, Jerry. So let's just talk about what this means. I've chosen London, England, and I've chosen universal time. And basically the time I've chosen is the 18th of July, and the nodes are more or less at the 29 anaretic degree of both Aries and Libra. Now I want to explain a little bit about the astronomy before I get on to what these are going to mean, and also how it's going to affect each of the signs of the zodiac. So what I found quite interesting when I did my research is that planets in our solar system are orbiting the sun counterclockwise, which I find quite interesting, because you would think that we live in a clockwork universe, apparently, or do we? Well, clearly not, because everything orbiting our sun, bar one or two rogue asteroids or whatever, are going anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. So that when a planet in our solar system goes retrograde, it's actually moving clockwise. Now, why is this important? Because first of all, the reason this has happened in our solar system, so not all solar systems, as a rule of thumb, will have their planets going anti-clockwise. It depends on the movement when that solar system was born, when the sun was formed, and the direction of the kind of dust and wind, the sort of universe wind, the cosmological winds that blew this dust around in spirals. And spirals is interesting. You think how often that appears in carvings on ancient monoliths and I can't speak, and megalithic monuments. So it's as if the ancients knew. So this dust was swirling anti-clockwise. Therefore, all the planets, as they began to coalesce and come together, they're moving anti-clockwise. Now, interestingly, when I was doing my research, the only planet that doesn't sort of rotate in an upward motion is Uranus. Well, of course it would, wouldn't it? Because it's the planet of surprise. My big outer boy Uranus, our planet of shock, unexpected happenings, it's rotating on its side, which I did think was quite interesting. And the other thing is about the planet Venus, that rotates about its axis in a clockwise direction. So they're just strange things that are caused by the events, such as we get cosmic collisions as the solar system was forming itself, and that basically is why they are as they are. So what about the nodal orbit? Because when we talk about the astrological symbolism of these points in space, the nodes where we get the eclipses, where we're not really kind of fully understanding what they represent. We just know that we have the North Node, which is moving into the sign of Aries, and the North Node is about more or less, it's about our collective destiny. It's what we have to resolve in this life, if you like. It's what we have brought in karmically from the South Node, that is now in Libra, that we have to work through in this life through that North Node and its expression through whichever sign of the zodiac it is falling in. So they orbit retrograde by default. And the nodes take, so we've got all the planets going anti-clockwise, and therefore the nodes also go anti-clockwise. They take about 18.6 years to make a full revolution. So that means we all have our first nodal return when we're about 18, which is quite interesting because we talk about it in terms of when we come of age. So it's interesting that this energy comes back to where it started when we're 18, as if we've gone through these 18 years of preparation and learning, and here we are at 18, launching ourselves out there into the sort of the public arena and having this kind of same energy that was around from when we were born. Now, if you're approximately 18, 37, 55, or 74, you will experience your nodal return, which is in a time when you are moving through and towards your kind of destiny. And it's often a time when external events, so what is happening on the world stage, can kind of be causal or acausal of how our destiny starts to unfold. Now, what about when we have the nodes reversed? Because we have also this reverse nodal return when you get your North Node where your South Node is, and your South Node where your North Node is. What does this mean? Well, first of all, this will happen at the ages of 27, 46, 64, or 83. And it's really a time of going back to basics and trying to work out what one still has to learn. Have we learnt the lessons that the cosmos has presented to us through the blueprint of our natal chart? So it is about, I think, our personal development. And it's really about focusing on one's soul growth as we go through these nodal events. But what do we know about nodes moving into Aries and Libra? Okay, so if you are having a nodal return or a reverse nodal return, the meaning is slightly different. So the North Node, as I said, is moving into Aries. And just to let you know, they are going to be here in Aries and Libra for about 18 months. They actually move into Pisces and Virgo during the first week or so of 2025. So until then, all for the rest of this year, all through 2024, we have this cardinal energy. We are moving from fixed Taurus, Scorpio, nodal energy, which has been keeping us kind of quite rigid and determined, unflexible to a certain extent about our destiny. I want to do it and I want to do it my way, into this cardinal energy where we're saying, hey, why not? Let's try something different. Let's go down this route because I can see my eye on the goal and I want to achieve that. So I'm really, really going to work hard with my destiny to get myself to that point in time further on down my path. So they can bring significant life-turning points when we have our nodal returns, or subsequently our reverse nodal returns. If I think about what happened for me when I had my nodal return, which is going back about 3 years or so, when the nodes were in Sagittarius and Gemini, I was beginning my current business and launching my YouTube channel. So what those nodes were doing, they were occupying my 11th house of projects and the community at large, getting me out there in the public eye, and my 5th house of creativity. And of course, working with astrology is actually an incredibly creative and imaginative career. So that was how I experienced that particular nodal return for me. Now, also we have to remember with this cardinal energy, sometimes the things that can come up for us can be a little bit kind of overwhelming and scary, because if you are a fixed energy from your sun sign or your ascendant, then to be suddenly thrown into this cardinal world and to be kind of given perhaps huge life-changing opportunities where you've just got to take the risk and jump can of course be quite scary. So we're going to have this energy for, as I said, the next 18 months until the beginning of 2025. But I know you want to know how it's going to affect you personally. So let's go through each sign and see what part of your chart you can expect this energy. Now, if you do know your chart well, and I'm actually going to leave the chart up here for all of this video, because it might help you if you want to kind of identify the houses. Because, as I say, I've taken this point in time. The other thing that is worth mentioning with the actual chart is that, of course, the energy is moving into this grand cardinal cross. And the sun is almost in opposition in Cancer to Pluto, which will bring in this cardinal cross energy. And then we are going to be pulled every which way, backwards, forwards. There will be so many kind of events of choice where we really are not quite sure which path we should follow. That's where we're going to have to step back and be really mindful and clear about what we want to achieve, what serves us best, and also what serves each other, what serves the collective. So let's start with Aries, because for you, Aries, this North Node is in your first house, and the South Node is in your 7th house of significant relationships. So the focus for you is very much going to be relationship based, and it's more or less about who you are, how you want to show yourself to the world. How much do you want to use this energy to, in a sense, really reinvent yourself, to change, to shift up a gear, to shake up your close personal relationships? That South Node is saying there are situations currently in close personal one-to-one relationships that have gone past their sell-by date. You know, there is a season and a reason for why people are in our lives. Be clear about the people you choose to surround yourself with, and be certain that these are the people that have your back and that serve you well and are on Team Aries. Let's move on to Taurus. Taurus, for you, the North Node is in the sector of your chart that is to do with your inner world, your psyche, your soul, where you can feel restricted, frustrated at times, where you push for some sort of growth. This North Node is going to be super helpful, and I'll tell you why. You're a fixed sign. This North Node, moving into your 12th house, is kind of building on how much you have changed over the last 18 months, with not only the North Node in your sign kind of giving you the opportunities to just speed up your progress and your process, but you've had my big outer boy Uranus in your sign, still there, creating this kind of opportunity, these energies for significant change, for you to really break out of whatever has restricted and held you back. And often, as you know, Taurus, that person or that energy that holds you back is you. This North Node in your 12th house really is a lovely opportunity for some wonderful inner growth. Now, the South Node, of course, is in Libra in your 6th house. And this is the part of your chart that is about your day-to-day routine, service to others. It can be about pets and small animals. You may welcome in another small furry person, a little four-legged friend. Just make sure that your living accommodation can accommodate more furry paw marks all over the floor. That's really a note to self. 4 cats is enough. But I think also it's where you are going to be standing back and reflecting about not just how well you are able to take care of you with your daily routine, but also how much do you actually take care of others? Have you become, Taurus, a bit self-fixed, fixated, a bit self-indulgent. I think there's been a little bit too much Taurian introspection going on. And this shift of the nodes into your 12th and 6th house are really giving you a big kind of wake-up call. Let's move on to Gemini. Gemini. So the North Node is moving into the sector of your chart where you have to connect with the community at large, where you really will feel that your ideas and projects finally have a stage, a platform, where they're starting to be received. Because Gemini, being flexible and mutable, you've been hopping around from one thing to another. And this energy is giving you that opportunity to be a little bit more directional, to be absolutely clear about the direction you want to take those projects that are dear to your heart towards. And it brings in the South Node, of course, in Libra, in your 5th house. The 5th house is creativity. It's also entertainment, can be love affairs. Is someone from your past going to pop up? Maybe to put a spanner in the works, or maybe there is a relationship that never received the kind of closure it deserved. And maybe this nodal entrance of the South Node into your 5th house will bring you that opportunity. Now let's look at Cancer. It's focusing, Cancer, on your career. The North Node in your 10th house of what you're passionate about, what you love doing. Remember, you are cardinal anyway. This is double whammy cardinal energy. You are going to be so fired up about those plans and ideas you've got for a certain career path, which really stands a good opportunity of taking off over the next 18 months. And I think the 4th house, Libra, where the South Node has moved into too, is going to bring you the support of family and perhaps people that you didn't really trust that they had your back and that they were on your team. So there is something about being able to use it's like they're going to be your cheerleaders. And I see you achieving a lot of the intentions you've been trying to manifest for quite a while. Leo. So Leo. Aries, of course, is your 9th house, and Libra is your 3rd house. So the 9th house, as we know, is about higher education. It's about learning. It's also about connecting with those kind of spiritual vibes that sometimes really elevate our consciousness to a higher level of understanding. It can also be about travel, but it can as much be travel of the mind as travel of the body. You know, you're a fixed sign like Taurus and Scorpio. And this is going to be a little bit of a rocket up your proverbial bum, Leo. I think I see you absolutely expanding your knowledge over the next 18 months. Somewhere within all of this, with that South Node in Libra, the sign of communication, I think you will be collating and collecting information that you want to put out there. Maybe some of you are writing a book. Maybe some of you are writing blogs. Maybe some of you are just creating personal kind of memoirs and journaling as a kind of personal self-development. Whatever way you choose to do it, it can be really, really beneficial for you. So I think it's going to be an interesting 18 months for you, Leo. Let's move on to Virgo. So Virgo, this cardinal energy for you is really about your financial status. It's about the finance that you share with others. It's about anything in you that needs to transform. It's as if with that South Node in Libra, in your second house, this is where you can find out about how much you value you. How is your self-worth, Virgo? Or do you hide your light under a bushel? Because I feel that this energy is asking you to draw on inner resources to recognize what you have to offer and start putting it out there through the realms of the 8th house and that kind of Scorpio energy. Because remember, the 8th house in the zodiac is Scorpio. This is about transformation. You can really transform your ideas, potentially into money earners. So this could be a very interesting 18 months for you. Let's move on to Libra. Libra for you. Aries, of course, is your 7th house. This is where your North Node is, and this is the part of your chart that, of course, is very much to do with your significant, close, one-to-one relationships. You know, this can bring in a new partner. If you're single and looking, it'll certainly bring up important elements of any current relationship that need to be addressed. If there are difficulties in a current relationship, if it has really reached the end of the road, then this energy will bring about the kind of viewing for you. It's as if it will present the events to say, look, this can't go any further. Why not let this go and allow the new to come in? Because that South Node in your sign, Libra, this is about your karma. You need to spend more time over the next 18 months really understanding you and how you work. If you can do that through a close personal relationship, fantastic. But if that another is not really worthy of you or does not value your need to go within, to discover yourself for yourself, then maybe it's time to let them go. Because you know, when something leaves, it leaves a wonderful open space for something new to come in. Let's move on to Scorpio. So, Scorpio, your 6th house, Aries, this is that part of the chart that is for you to do with your daily routine. You're quite energetic in how you get your routine sorted out. This is also the part of the chart that is about, you know, those little jobs that we have to do, all those things which are can be irritating. But you know, with the North Node there, you'll be flying through them. You'll be getting everything sorted. Great time to kind of, probably clear out and get things sorted at home. And the other thing that might be highlighted with this North Node here is your health. And that doesn't have to be in a negative way. It may actually be that irritating and niggly little health problems, you actually start to see a big improvement. Or you decide to actually do a big kind of health regime on yourself to get yourself into a better shape. So that can't be bad. Whereas Libra, where your South Node is your 12th house. This, of course, is where you are really doing that inner reflecting, Scorpio. And Scorpio, I think with the nodes in your sign, you had the South Node in your sign for 18 months. I think it brought a lot of karma to the surface in significant relationships. I think you've been faced with kind of real shadow images of yourself and of others, and of how that either serves or doesn't serve you. So that I think it's a welcome relief as the spotlight is taken off you a bit, Scorpio. And that focus of the balance and harmony of Libra brings in that South Node to give you some time for inner reflection, to get your balance, to really balance out your energies in a harmonious way. So let's move on to Sagittarius. So Aries for you is your 5th house. And this, of course, is the part of the chart to do with creativity. Now, Sagittarius, you're flexible, you're mutable. I think this could be really pretty good fun having this North Node here. I think you'll find that it's like somebody lets their foot off the accelerator a bit and just cruising along, enjoying good company with friends. There can even be romantic opportunities that come up with the North Node here that feel quite karmic and destined. And in general, anything that you feel moved to be creative about, whether it's in the arts or music or painting, drama, writing, will flow very easily now with this energy. The North Node is moving into your 11th house, Libra. And this, of course, is where you connect with the community at large, everyone out there. You may be thinking of presenting something you've been working on and putting it out there in the public domain. And why not, Sagittarius? Because I think, Sagittarius, you had this South Node in your 12th house, and I think you're done with the inner reflection. It's like, can we just move on from that? Can I have some fun? Yes, Sagittarius, you can. This is going to be 18 months of much easier energy for you. Now let's move on to Capricorn. Capricorn. Aries is your 4th house. The home, the family, your ancestry, your past. What is this about for you? It's the North Node. It's initiatory, like you are. You're an initiatory cardinal sign. If you haven't already moved, you will be. If you have moved, maybe you're going to move again, or find a second property, or, if you're lucky enough to be blessed with enough money to either own 2 properties or rent 2 properties, that could certainly be on the cards with this energy. And I think also there may be events going on to do with family that have a sense of destined outcomes. This could be from someone getting married, to somebody having a baby, to somebody not being around anymore. So there can be all those kinds of, and please don't freak out and think, do you know what sometimes people do? If an astrologer, like myself or anyone else, says something ever so vaguely, like not quite so positive, we all focus on that one thing. Please don't, because I'm just showing you all facets of what can come up, and it doesn't mean it's gonna happen. But let's look at that 10th house where Libra is and your South Node. I think if you are working and have a career or something you're passionate about, there will be something coming back into your life from a maybe whoever you work for asks you to do an old job that you used to do, as well perhaps as the job you're doing now, kind of two into one. And you might be thinking, oh my God, it's not going to give me any spare time. So remember, Capricorn, forewarned is forearmed. And the other thing that this can be is an opportunity comes to you from something you've thought about in the past. You know, a career path that you've never explored, never followed, that suddenly becomes available. So that can also be something that opens up. But if you don't work and you are a stay-at-home retired person enjoying life, hopefully, then this South Node really is just giving you an opportunity to sit back and just reflect and enjoy life a bit and not take everything so seriously. Let's move on to Aries. Sorry, I mean Aquarius. I was reading Aries in the third and I misread the line. Aquarius. We've got it right. So Aries for you is the third house of communication. This is where the North Node is. Whereas Libra is your 9th house, where the South Node is. Now Aquarius, you are fixed. This energy is going to shake you up. Have you got some ideas of something you would like to launch in your local community? Is there a group you would like to form for like-minded people, for example, bringing in the energy of that 9th house and learning and higher education and, you know, travel of the mind and just higher consciousness things, which Aquarius you're all about. I think also this North Node, if any of you out there are creative writers, blog writers, script writers, lovely energy for you to write an important manuscript book, poetry book, whatever it is, but really nice energy for it. And with Libra, with the South Node in the 9th, then this is bringing in information that you already know, that you've already worked on. And now it becomes available for you to work with in a really positive way. So that is good. Now let's move on to my oceans of emotions. Guess who? It's Pisces. My oceans of emotions. How is this nodal shift going to play out for you? Well, Aries is your 2nd house of finance. But remember, this is also where you earn your money, or how you earn your money. Also, how much you value you. This is Aries, which is cardinal. You're mutable Pisces, flexible, all over the place. But you know, this energy, I think, is going to be quite good for you. I think you're going to be feeling much more direct and certain about your direction in life and how you want you and your work to pan out. And you can now see how you can actually really create a good income if you're not already. So I think this is superb energy for you. I think you get the help and support of others with that South Node in Libra in your 8th house. I really feel that is going to be beneficial to you because all the hard work you have done, Pisces, is now going to be available for you to help you transform and become the wonderful grown-up Pisces fish that you are, to really be able to swim in the direction of your choice without being tossed around by the currents of the ocean, and be much more directional and cardinal and initiatory with your life. On that note, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining me. This wonderful diagram will now pixelate and mysteriously disappear. Clever, eh? And thank you for coming to watch me. Couldn't remember what I was going to say. You're used to me now. Please remember, here we go. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I just want to say I really value your subscriptions. I haven't said that for a while, and I want to say it because they are still going in positive territory, and that is so super validating for me. So thank you. At least I know I am producing content that that is helpful for you, because that is my aim. And so I will be working with my nodes to create even more helpful content. That is my plan, because the nodes for me are going to be in 9th, 3rd house. So that Libra, Aries, Libra at the bottom, Aries at the top for me, because I'm Leo ascendant. So, and remember, if you haven't listened to your rising sign, so listen to your rising sign as well as your zodiac sign, because that'll give you much more of a meshed understanding, a kind of a collective, or a kind of what's the word? It's just going to bring it together much more clarity for you with what area of your life is going to be affected. So on that note, as I said, please remember to like, comment, view, subscribe, share, and remember to subscribe to my website. And, you know, as I said in one of my last videos, the things I'm working on will be there at the right time. And it's probably in some way linked actually with this nodal shift. And I think that nodal shift will help me to shift my energies in producing what I want to produce via the website. So for now, thanks so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.